So here we go. This Bethania Park Road and Bethania Station Road. And what I'm looking for is the branch for the Grassy Creek, because the Grassy Creek, I believe, come off of the Mill Creek. And the Mill Creek is one of the largest creeks in, Forsyth County. We're gonna rename, a lot of these places, like these counties and stuff like that. A lot of them, like in the future, I'm talking future. See, Mill Creek watershed is down there, and that goes all the way across past now near Ogburn Road, past Ogburn Road, Old Rule Hall Road, all that good stuff. And that branches off of the Muddy Creek. Now, we already did a video on the Muddy Creek. Now, the Muddy Creek is the main creek, and all of these other creeks break off, like the Mill Creek breaks off from the Muddy Creek. You got Salem Creek that breaks off from the Muddy Creek. And so now, out here is really a point of emphasis. See, they got the, hold on, I got to park. I'm finna park. I'm about to park on the side of the road because I'm a gangster. And guess what? I'm in a wagon. Oh, there go a parking spot right there. We just gonna park real quick. You know what I mean? So this is where, I got a book on this place. Well, first of all, I've been coming out here since I was, you know what I'm saying? I grew up here. This is my parts. These are my parts, my nigga. But I'm in Atlanta again, and it's in the book that I talk about. Let's just make this part 2 from the Muddy Creek. So let me get my cellular device so I can know where I'm at on the planet. And I never really looked into these creeks, man. You know what I'm saying? But they all around us. They all around us. And I got a lot of theories and stuff like that. But in that book, it talks about how those, who they're calling the Moravian settlers, who was really just German immigrants and Czechoslovakian immigrants who were in Ulster, Scotland. That's why they call them the Scottish Irish. And they're saying that what's behind me was their first settlement in what we call today Forsyth County. You know what I mean? And see, it says the 1753, the Great Philadelphia Wagon Road. What'd I say I was in? I was in the wagon. It says the most heavily traveled in colonial America, but we know that was the old buffalo routes. You feel what I'm saying? So if it wasn't for the buffalo, because before us came the buffalo, that's why the buffalo is a sacred animal to us. You know what I'm saying? Because they paved these roads in North America. So in modern days, this is what they would call Highway 81, 77, Route 77, 81, on up through Philadelphia. Now, to get to Philadelphia, you got to get on what, 76 or 78? I think one of those two. It'd take you to Philly from 81. You feel me? Just like how the creeks break off from the bigger creek and the bigger creek break off from the river, it's the same thing with these roads. You feel me? So before the roads was the rivers and the creeks. You know what I mean? So heavily traveled and colonial. So now we talking commerce. You feel me? So now the Great Wagon Road, what they talking about, came all the way from Philadelphia, all the way through here, the Sedona Valley up in Virginia, down through South Carolina, and I think it went into Charleston. So that'd be like Route 26. You feel me? So that's 77, 81, 77, 26. You know what I mean? And please correct me if I'm if you a scholar, correct me if I'm wrong. You feel me? It says, so Augusta. So that's Highway 26. You see what I'm saying? I ain't even read this. I'm the historical marker, huh? The most heavily traveled and colonial, but they came before the colons. Passed near here. You see what I'm saying? Passed near here. linking areas of the Great Lakes to Augusta, laid out on animal and Native American. I've never been to this historical mark. And trading and warrior paths. Naga, Indian or Nagas, niggas treaties amongst New York, PA, and Virginia, and the Iroquois League of the Five Nations in 1685 and 1722 opened the colonial backcountry of the peaceful settlement along this road of the Piedmont. See what I'm saying? They talk about the Iroquois Confederacy and the Five Nations, and I grew up here and I never knew that. I took prom pictures here, bro. You feel me? So it's all about you. They came before Columbus, so they just talk about the Moravians, but my theory is who was here before the Moravians? Who was out here before the Moravians? It was the Nagas. And so in that book, you see those fences over there? I will walk over there, but I'm trying to go see something else real quick. You see those fences over there? They built them fences over here to protect themselves, because these is foreigners and they on foreign land. So they coming over here as foreigners, they outsiders. And the Tre4 always been the Tre4. You know what I'm saying? We always popped up, and this is our territory. This is the north side of town in modern times. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the North Side Clothing Company. You know what I mean? I got to get some apparel. I'm long overdue. You know what I'm saying? But in the book, it talks about, I'm going to call them the North Side Warriors. So that's, like I said, like how it said, this is Indian territory. You feel me? So the creeks is most important, because the creeks was here before the roads. You know what I mean? So we traveled alongside the creeks. That's how we navigated. That's how we knew what was what. You know, it's a landmark. So let me see. I was looking this up yesterday. Let me see. It's a park over here. Let me see. Okay. So I used to walk these streets too, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's bringing me back. Like, I'm back home, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never would walk over here, but my parts is on the other side of the barrel. You feel me? On the other side, over there near Murray. And so that's what we could talk about, Murray. So you look up the word Murray and the word Moravian, it all ties back to Moor. You feel me? Now, who were the Moors? You know what I'm saying? So it said that the Moors, Moravia, the Edomine, when you look it up, Morava. You're saying Mo and Rava, so you're saying the Moors by the river and along the river valleys. I could have parked my car up here. It's cold. But yeah, this is some good stuff for the Tre4. You know, these watersheds. So this is the Grassy Creek. You got the Grassy Creek breaking off. Oh, the Monarcas. That's the Monarcas. My fault. It's the Monarcas. It's the Monarcas. And the interesting thing about the Monarcas Creek, Monarcas obviously means monarch. You feel me? So let's see. So now my mother, this is, let me see. What we got? What creek is this? What creek is this? Okay, this is what they will call a road bend. You see that? That's what they will call a road bend, because it got that curvature. So I got to look that up on the map real quick to see and notice the creeks is flowing that way. So if this is the Mill Creek, if it's the Mill Creek watershed, it's flowing this way into the Muddy Creek that way. Feel me? It's not the opposite. It's going into the Muddy Creek. And we talked about on the first one, on the first creek joint, that, let me see, where am I at? Okay, so you see the river bend, I meant the road bend. If it was a river, it'd be called a river bend. So this is how you really have to know, survey the land and the road. So the bend is right there, and there go the there go the creek on there. So let's see what it say. That's the Mill Creek. Yes, sir. So the Mill Creek, and that's stretching across the north side. The Mill Creek stretched across the north side, the true north. You feel me? So I grew up on the other side of this creek, my G. You feel me? So that's the Mill Creek. And then if we keep walking down, not too far, we're going to see the bend for the Monarcas, the Monarchs. And my mother hair salon was off of the Monarcas Creek because it lined up with North Point Boulevard. And my mom's salon was off North Point. Go get 1970. Please go get 1975. Because I know we just talking about geographics right now, but we talk about the culture of the city in 1975. You feel what I'm saying? Well, that's a play on words. That's a play on words. That's really dope. So, yeah. So we have to, if we want to talk about, we got to talk about the landmarks. Because guess what? That water has been flowing. That water been flowing. See, one of these days I'm going to come walk this. One of these days. Okay, look. Here it is right here. Here it is. Here it is right here. And see, this is pouring into the Mill Creek. Let me make sure. So this the Monarcas. That's the Monarcas. The Monarcas Creek. Tre4. Y'all pass by this when you cross over University by the Popeyes. You feel me? Okay. Let me make sure that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. So this is pouring into the Mill Creek, and the Mill Creek is pouring into the Muddy Creek, and the Muddy Creek is pouring into the Yakin PD River Basin, and the Yakin PD River Basin is pouring into the Atlantic Ocean. Look at that water. It's clear too, my G. Let me see if I can walk back here. You can. They got it where you can walk back here. So again, that's important because why did the Moravians come here? That's research. That's the research. Now they say it's because in the proper name for North Carolina before 1776, when it was established as a independent state, it was called Magnum Carolina Sigrorum Dominiorum. That's Latin. So that lets you know we were speaking Latin. And we were ran by Monarcas. And the boundary for modern Tennessee, which was once still a part of the Carolina Dominiorum, was the Unaga Mountains, the Unaga mountain lines. Look up the Unagas. Come on, bro, I can't make this up. Unagas. Hey, how about Unagas go look up the Unagas? So yeah, and the trees can hear me. They've been here since the alleged Moravians came. Now, who is the Moravians? Wow. So here go to look. History, B. History, my G. There's the breaking point of the Monarcas. This, as I'm talking to you about the monarchs, North Carolina was ran by monarchs. This is why this is called the Monarcas, you feel me? Creek and Shalom. This is Shalom. You feel what I'm saying? The book that I got that I referenced that talk about them coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to here. You know what I'm saying? Literally this point. Let me give you the coordinate points of where I'm at. And this is where the Monarcas pours into the mill, and the mill pours into the muddy, and the muddy pours into the Yakin, and the Yakin pours into the Ethiopian Sea, which is called the Atlantis. So you see how everything is connected? Everything is connected. And my mother's salon was off of this Monarcas Creek near North Point. No, let me see my coordinate. Let me get my coordinates. All right, 36 parallel, 15 minutes north of it. And we 30 degrees west of the 80th meridian, right? Now we know London, England is at the 0 meridian. That's what they call the prime meridian. So we 80 degrees west of that. Each one is about 69 miles or so. You feel me? So we 30 degrees west of the 80th, right? My daughter was born on the, she was born 18 minutes west of the 85th. You feel me? So right here is, you seeing it here first. This is where the Monarcas Creek pours into the Mill Creek. And look how deep that Mill Creek is. Now my father lives along the Mill Creek. You know what I'm saying? On that other side of it. But it's all the way down on the other side of town. Lets you know how far it goes. You know what I mean? And let's see where I'm gonna show you before we get off here. This is dope, bro. Like, so like I'm healing. You know what I mean? I just carried my grandmother to her final resting spot. You know what I'm saying? So here go the Mill Creek right here. You know what I mean? I wish I could flip my camera, but I can't. So the Mill Creek is flowing down. This is near Renault, my family, if you're from the Tre4, where that little swamp area is, and then where the movie theater used to be. The Mill Creek flows through there. My family, they got a church over there now, near where the Harris Teeter used to be. That's where you at, if you know what I mean, if you can't see. And then this is the Mill Creek, and then it's about to punch into, it's going back down, what's that, Greenbrier Farm Road. I think I knew some people that live back there, and they got a Mill Creek Trail right there. So it's still flowing, you know what I'm saying? So if we was on a boat and we were to get on the boat and the boat were to cut left right there, that's where it's taking you. So we going into the muddy. What's that branch off right here? Here's the Mill Creek. Concord Battery is what, it's another segue right there. I'm about to see what that segue is. What creek is that? Is it gonna tell us? You gonna tell us? You not gonna tell us what creek it is? Well, hold on, it was just told me something. Okay, I can't find it. Okay. Mill Creek, whatever. And then you're crossing over Shatline Drive. And then that's where near where it crosses Shatline Drive, you got maybe about a half a mile, and then it goes into the Muddy Creek. What road is this so I can reference it? I believe that's, oh, it's right there near Jefferson Elementary School. So this Mill Creek branches off from the Muddy Creek near Jefferson Elementary School. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Muddy Creek again, I went out near where it pours into the Yak, and that's you go on down, what is that called? I used to live off of there. It's Stratford, and then it's a road, I think it's called Idols. You go on, like you going down Stratford like you about to go to Davidson County, and then you whip on Idols, and then I think it's a road called Hampton after Idols, and then that's near where the Muddy Creek, the Muddy Creek pours into the Yaki. So just to, go back to the point. So these settlers came here in the name of the Moravian church, but they were not Moravians. Moravia is a whole nation. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, we're gonna call you. It's like, all right, I stayed in Tennessee. I stayed in Kentucky. Now I can say that I'm a Kentuckian, or I call the Kentucky. If you from Kentucky and you look like me, you call a bourbon. So because you got bourbon, the bourbon capital of the world. You feel me? I did a video over there a while ago. Feel me? That's in what county is that? Not Bullitt, but I forget, bro. Off 65. It's off 65 before you get to Louisville. To the east. So that's the Monarcas, yo. It's coming down there, and if you keep going down there, you're gonna walk by. My mom had the real salon of beauty. You know what I mean? 87, my G. Yeah. Shit just not the same, bro. Badabra Greenway. And so when you look up the etymology of Badabra, because look up the etymology of Badabra. Feel me? Chiefs. The Chiefs was here, bro. So they just randomly came here? No. They talking about this was the only available land, so they built the wooden fences to protect them from Indian raids. Man, North side, I'm gonna just put it like this: we always been popping off. So, and now in the book Winston-Salem: A History, it talks about how all the real niggas disappeared, and now all of a sudden you got all these black people, these black slaves. They like to say slaves. They say it like that. No more Indians. What happened to the Indians? But all of a sudden you just get this influx. So the Indians just disappeared for the black slaves to come in. That's the theory. The Indians magically disappeared, and now who appears is these black African American colored Negro folk. No, make it make sense. Just use common sense. You feel what I'm saying? No, what happened was they created a union, which was a corporation. Look up the Virginia Company. I think that was 16. Don't get me wrong. Late 1600s. The first one was in the early 1600s, but it failed tremendously. So Queen Elizabeth of Surrey County, which is the county north of here, issued a charter to Sir Walter Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? So what was I talking about before that? Oh, Badabra. So Badabra. You got Badabra and Bethania. I'm gonna look up the etymology of Badabra. You gotta look up the etymology of everything. Now, oh, my fault, Taj. And listen to Taj Tariq Bey, House of Reawakening Minds, G. Badabra. It says, the House of Confidence is what first came up. But I want to look at the etymology. Let me see. I'm glad I got that. That's the first mouth or like branch that I have recorded in the city. The rest of them hard to get to. I haven't tried to go anywhere else yet, but the Muddy Creek and the Yakin, that's hard to get to. You feel me? And y'all can look this up on y'all phones. You'll see the creeks, and you'll see why it's important to study the creeks, because civilization was built along these creeks. You feel me? So even if the Moravians came here in 1750, you know what I'm saying? What that say, 1750? That means that Again, the buffalo. Don't count the buffalo out. They was guiding the routes. Now we ship freight down them routes. You feel me? Like, for real. All up and down through there. Hagerstown, Maryland. I know the Great Wagon Road like the back of my hand. You know what I mean? So, from north to south. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at. And my life real, bro. Like, people don't know my life, man. Like, you know, my mom used to love it. She used to love, like, she would be in the car with me, for real, talking about this stuff. She would be in the car with me. But, you know, so they gonna try to act like it started. This is very important that I'm talking about this. Because they're gonna act like it started with these Moravians. That's why they made it a historical point, park, and all that. And it's gonna tell you the Moravians did this and they built this, and then they moved down and established the city of Shalom. How they established the city of Shalom when Happy Hill was already right there, and they had the community called Liberia, or the village called Liberia, before they came there. And Shalom, or Salem, is Hebrew. In Hebrew is Shalom. You know what I'm saying? And when you look up Liberia, and then you look at the culture, and I think it talks about that in Winston-Salem in history. It do. You know what I'm saying? So you get the code. It's like we have similarity traits to the Mandingo. And then I got another book from 1976 when it was published, the original copy. It says that, one, that the mother of civilization was North Carolina. Two, it says that the Mandingo culture was in the Niggas, the Indians that they talking about, of North Carolina, had the same similarity traits of the Gold Coast in Africa. Make it make sense, G. You know what I mean? So it's like, we was here first. Our culture was here first. They found, along these creeks, along the muddy creeks, they found our artifacts. You know what I mean? Ours. It said that 10,000 years ago, we was still here. I had my first oyster in them apartments right there. Hell yeah, back in like 2001. I still remember that, bro. I was on the back porch. That oyster was so good, bro. Oh my gosh. That probably was like my first and last time having an oyster. So, okay. The Monarcas is still coming out here. I think we lined up with it. I don't know. But my mother's salon, I could see it just on the other side of this La Petite. It's back there behind the North Point Chrysler. And what's so interesting is that the Monarcas, let me see. Let me see. I'm in the light real quick. Let's see. Look up the etymon of Bethabara and Bethania for my Tre4 folk. Okay. See what the Monarcas is doing? It's segueing across that way. And then it comes on the other side. Now, that green building, if you can look, that's where my mother's salon was at. You know what I mean? When she was at her peak. Well, that's the Queen of Sheba. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all the women came through. The Monarcas, I see it over here. It's coming down through there. You know what I mean? So, all of the women, and she has a book. I'm like low-key kind of getting emotional. You know what I mean? She got a book that talks about the history of hair and going back into the BC ages. You know what I'm saying? Like before the Common Era, and how they still had the hot comb and the culture of the hair. Like, so her salon, you know what I mean, respectfully, was not the first salon of the Ethiopian, of Ethiopian Edenic stock. You know what I mean? So the Bible is not going to tell you that, because they try to take our culture and like erase it. Just like how they try to remove the nose from Kemet, that's metaphysical. So they going to try to remove the combs from the sisters who was out here braiding hair when they arrived. You know what I'm saying? when they first came here, De Soto and Francis Bacon, I'm hip to them. You feel me? The women probably had the hot comb and they probably was sitting on the porch in the chair like how it was on the Glorilla video that she just posted. You feel me? Doing hair. You know what I'm saying? When they came here trying to figure out where the city of gold was at. Meanwhile, they sitting on it. You feel me? Like, that's just trillology. You know what I mean? That's trillology. And trillology, you know what I mean? Sirius Constellation told me my mama is her hairdresser. Woo! Man, this is her boulevard. This the real boulevard, bro. Like I said, a lot of stuff gonna change, and this is Revelations 21, bro. That's why I say look up Badabra and look up Bethania. You know what I mean? And look up a ford. Look up what a river ford is, and look up the shallow ford in the Yakin. Come on, G. They don't call this Shalom for no reason. And everybody knows this stuff except us Nagas. That's it. And that's just real, bro. Like, I got this book in Atlanta, and it was written by a descendant of the Moravians, right? The hybrid offset Moravians. The hybrid offset Moravians. Again, like I told you, Moravia is a country within itself. And they not that. You know what I mean? They're not that. So, you know what I'm saying? We know about John Huss. I do. But we not supposed to know about John Huss. You feel me? They not going to teach us about John Huss in school. You feel me? And they not going to teach it. They not going to tell you that John Huss was a Moor. You feel me? So, and he was the predecessor to what led to become the Moravian Church. You feel me? So, you know, Monarcas. We're going to call this Monarcas. Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Indiana. What you know about Indiana Ave, G? Come on, bro. What you know about Mr. Lee's, B? What you know about the Ricans, B? You feel me? What you know about the Ricans, dog? So, yeah, that's just you know, I just hope my people appreciate it. I just hope my people appreciate this. I try not to cuss because I want the kids and the youth to learn this stuff, you know? So everything is just like how they say the cultures and the civilizations in Egypt and Africa was built along the Nile and the rivers that broke off from the Nile. It's the same thing here. The same jazz here, G. And these rivers, as you just saw, they pouring into one another. That's how we got to do. We got to be water, bro, and pour into each other like the creeks. And them creeks is pouring into Africa. You feel me? In South America. You know? And Antarctica. You know? It's a portal. So it's like, you know, we connected. And notice it's not coming from over there, over here. No, that's not, it's going against the flow. It's going from here to there. So the creek's telling you. That's what the creek's telling you. You can't go against the creeks. They gonna say, oh, we came over here when we got shipped over here. You know what I mean? Like, no, bro. They came over here as indentured servants because of King James. They ain't like the way King James is running shit. King James literally kicked them out of Ireland and put them in Scotland. You feel me? Kicked them out of Ireland and put them in northern Scotland. I may have it backwards. And I can't talk about other countries because I ain't been there, but it impacts us because they came from here over there, and we think that they supreme, but we've been here and we've been the supremes because we was the monarchs. Literally, bro, this is not me talking This is just my commentary on what I've studied. You feel me? This is the commentary on what I've studied. I'm gonna show you the seal for the name that I told you that North Carolina was, the nation that we were, the Carolinas. And it said it stretched from sea to shining sea, the Carolinas. And when you break down Carolina, you get Cherokee, the Cherokee. Let me see. I'm gonna show you. That's it right there. I'm coming on the stoplight. I'm talking about me, cuz. That's it right there, G. You see the Monarcas? You feel me? You see what they wearing? Feathers. Not feathers. Moors. You feel me? Not feathered. Not feathers. You see the con, the monarch, and the impetus. You feel me? The impetus was running South Carolina, and the monarch was running North Carolina. Those are what you call chiefs and chiefesses. And you bring the two together, that's in Kemet, that's called Semi-Trois. Come on, G. That's called Semi-Trois. As above, so below. You connecting the two. And the Mill Creek over here too, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's the Mill Creek. We just seen the Mill Creek, right? It's coming all the way over here. So, come all the way over here. It stretches. You know what I mean? The Muddy Creek go all the way into King. And King was a part of Surrey. I mean, it's a part of Surrey County, but Forsyth County was once a part of Surrey County. And again, look up Queen Elizabeth I. I should have clarified that on the first one. I think she came after King James, or she came either before or after. No, she was before. And then Charles and them came after James. And then you get King George, whose consort was Charlotte. You feel me? So, look it up, bro. Shit. So, yeah, man. So, all right, I'm getting ready to get off of here, man. Do your research. I just, you know what I mean? I just led you to the creeks. You know what I mean? I led you to the creeks and the lakes and shit. So, peace, guys.